Disclaimer: the views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host or guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Think Talk Broadcast, the community network of Life Coach Philippines. Our mission is to get closer to our kindred and serve better our tribe. And we envision being the go to network for content that connects the mind, the heart, and the soul through the platform of life coaching. I am Master Coach Hasmin, your community service provider, streaming live from San Mateo Rizal, the first class municipality in Rizal. So you are joining me for the premiere broadcast of When Sickness Matters with my very special guest tonight, Dr. Hannah T. Bernardo, the head of health and wellness at St. Luke's Global Medical City. And we'll be back shortly. And we're back. So, hello everyone. If you've just joined in, I am Master Coach Hasmin and I am a registered medical technologist by profession. And for 10 years, I've worked in the hospital at Philippine Heart Center. And presently, I am more than 14 years already as a marketing executive at Lifeline Diagnostic Supplies, a diagnostic and research company which is in the healthcare and in life sciences. So, welcome to the When Sickness Matters. So, our show is all about health and wellness. And as they say, prevention is better than cure. But many people despise visiting doctor's clinic for medical checkup until sickness becomes a reality. So that's why it is the title of the show, When Sickness Matters. So every week, you will be meeting medical doctors and we will be asking them on how to break the bias of the medical services that they offer and how we can bridge the gap of healthcare and healing to the people. And as a registered medical technologist, work in the laboratory, and as a marketing executive, I had the opportunity to see, to see the how is it inside the hospital and on the patient side as well. I have the opportunity to visit hospitals, clinic, laboratories, and we can see that there's this challenge of the people not seeking for immediate medical attention and even for a checkup, annual checkup, right? So, well, in fact, we know that a quick and simple checkup is one of the best way to stay healthy and prevent future health problems. However, there are certain factors and there are lifestyle barriers that can convince an individual to avoid scheduling one. So that's why tonight we have invited a very special guest and she will shed some light on that gap, on bridging the gap of healthcare and healing to the people. So our guest is an internal medicine, lifestyle medicine, and occupational medicine doctor. She is also a fellow at the Philippine College of Physicians and presently the head of Health and Wellness Center at St. Luke's Global City. She is also into missions and disaster response, and this has always been a massive part of her life even before she got married. And in fact, she is a true advocate of health and wellness, and she doesn't mind celebrating her special occasion, doing the mission works with her husband, who is a pastor, Pastor Zuriel Bernardino of Heroes Church. They travel outside the country and all over the Philippines to help people who are in need of medical attention and other mission works. And she believes that there is always something to smile about in what she does, and hope. Okay, hope is never lost no matter what you are going through in life. And as her husband would describe her, she is classy, she's smart, and authentic woman. She is strong and independent, but at the same time, compassionate, and kind hearted. So let's give a warm welcome to our very special guest on the premiere episode of When Sickness Matters, Dr. Hannah T. Bernardino.
Hello. Good evening, Master Coach Hasmin. Thank you so much for that very kind introduction. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here on your premiere episode of When Sickness Matters. And um, I'm just honored that you have me for tonight as your guest.
Yes, and of course, Doc, no, I would like also to thank you for saying yes. So this is actually very exciting because this is our first time to meet, and we have something in common. I am also a pastor's wife, and you're also a pastor's wife, right?
Yes.
Thank you for saying yes. And it's really nice to meet you and hear from you. And being also in the healthcare industry right now, I'm a marketing executive, and St. Luke's Global is also one of our clients in Lifeline Diagnostics. And it's
Oh,
good
wow.
to be able, yeah, to be in the laboratory. So it's good to be able to see you here in one platform and sharing, no, so sharing one of the challenges that we hope that tonight we can shed some light, no, Doctora. So
Mhm.
um my first question, Doc, no, so how is it being the head of health and wellness at St. Luke's Global City?
That's a very good question. It's been very challenging. Of course it's a blessing, having a job that I can do what I am passionate about. My passion is really preventive medicine and lifestyle, health and wellness. I'm an advocate of that the saying that prevention is better than cure. So I'm happy that I get to do that on a daily basis and help our patients achieve those goals, staying healthy. And even though it is in a hospital, it's better than being admitted in like the wards. It's better na ano lang, annual checkups, your physical annual physicals. So that's much better than having to go to the emergency room and being admitted in the hospital. At least you go there on your own time and you're prepared and you know what to expect. So yes, I'm very blessed to be at that um, where I am right now.
Yeah, so it's truly a blessing, Doc, ano, so to be in that institution. And normally, no, so a lot of people could be their first time to hear na meron palang health and wellness center, no. And I think this is also the only hospital, right, is the Global City, St. Luke's Global City, who has a health and wellness center. So can you
No,
can
no, no.
you
There are
ano
other wellness centers naman. The major hospitals would have wellness centers as well. This is where people would go to have their executive checkups, annual
mm,
physicals. So, yeah, other hospitals meron din naman.
oh, good. That's nice, no? So at least it's being spread out. So mas maganda na mas madaming health and wellness center. And Doc, what's the difference between health and wellness?
Well, health is really the absence of disease, no? That's the definition of health. And wellness is more of your whole state of well-being, your emotional well-being, not just the physical, also psychological, mental, spiritual. It's the total, more of the totality. But they're interchangeable naman, health and wellness. That's why um, just so we know that it's not just the physical health that's important. The whole your whole being, everything is also important. So it's important to be well.
Yeah, no. So good point yun, Doktora, no, na when you mentioned that it's the whole being, no. So it's more than we focus on health because oftentimes when we talk about health, it's just the physical health, 'di ba, Doktora? But when we sabi mo nga, it's wellness is our whole being, well-being, di ba? And when we say well-being, that includes also our mental health, right? So our emotional health that can also affect us, our spiritual health and social health. So madaming all kinds of health. So yun doon pumapasok yung wellness part. right, Doc?
Mhm.
So, um, ano ang itsura ng health and wellness lab? So how does it look like, Doc, right now? So there a lot of people, okay, pre-pandemic time and pandemic time? How does it look like right now in the health and wellness center?
So, just a background, our health and wellness center is where patients would go to have their executive checkups, their annual physicals. It's a one stop shop. Everything is done there. They will first be seen by one of us internal medicine doctors. We will take their history and physical exam, and then they will proceed with their lab tests, blood tests, the imaging, X-rays, ultrasounds, the stress test. They also have the eye exam, and well, a lot more. Like for women, there's the mammogram, the breast ultrasound. We all have the women's health, the Pap smear, transvaginal ultrasounds, everything that's recommended for screening. We have it there. That's it. What's nice, it's convenient. They don't have to go to the different departments in the hospital, so it's all done in the seventh floor in of St. Luke's Medical Center in Global City. So right now, I'm happy to see patients starting to come back already. Of course, during the pandemic, bumaba talaga yung mga nagpapa-check up because of course they're afraid to go to the hospital, and because the cases were high, we actually had to close for a bit and work at the ICU, in the COVID ICU in 2020 when the pandemic started. Um, so we had to close it and we had to shift manpower to the areas where it was really needed. But of course, we've been in the pandemic for a long time. We have to live with it, so we cannot stop our daily activities, our daily the things that we do basically. So we had to adjust, and now I'm happy to see like things are getting back to normal, and there are more patients coming back. They've missed the most of them. A lot of them have missed the last 2 years, but at least I always say like the important thing is you're back, and can start again your whatever your goals are for your health. You can restart them. So it's better now than never.
Yeah, tama no, Doc. So it's better now than never. So truly the pandemic no, so medyo napastop nito eh. So a lot of people as you
Mm,
mentioned are afraid to go for a checkup. In fact, even the industry that I belong to, no,
mm.
so in the diagnostics, so there is truly a challenge because less and less people are going for a checkup. No? So Doc, no, so what's unique with St. Luke's Health and Wellness Center?
Ayun nga, as I said, it's a one-stop shop.
Mm.
Everything is done at one area, so that it's very convenient. Everything is there. They don't have to go down to, say, the pathology area to get their blood test,
Yeah.
or the heart institute for their stress test, or the ultrasound area for your ultrasound. So it's all done in our center, and we have a nice lounge. It's really not like a hospital. It's more like a hotel. So if you can visit us, um, it would be great to see you there, to see for yourself kung, how um, everything is just it won't make you feel like you're in the hospital. So that's our one of our goals.
Wow, no? So, maganda pala do'n, Doc, no? So, yeah, you mentioned na yung one-stop shop na siya. So, that would truly encourage. Kasi ako for me, no? So, even I am in the healthcare industry, I am one of the challenges is yung pila. So yung
Mm,
something that really makes me stop to have a regular checkup is the yung pila, no? But
yes.
in St. Luke, so it's a one stop, okay? The wellness center, nandun na lahat. Hindi ka na pupunta sa third floor,
You
second
don't
floor, or
need to get
12th
a
floor.
schedule for this and that. We can arrange that for you. Like if you have additional tests that you need, we will get try to get the schedule on the same day, so you won't have to keep coming back.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing, no? So to all the people who are watching us right now, no? So merong ganon. So if your challenge is like my challenge, no? So yung ayaw mong pumila, you don't like to really go
Mm-hmm.
around in the hospital, no? So iba-iba pa yung pila mo. So there's actually now health and wellness, no? So it's a one-stop shop wherein everything that you need to get tested is all in
Mm-hmm.
there, no? So thank you, Doc. No, so for giving us a picture of how does a health and wellness center look like. So, in your view, Doc, sabi mo kanina, di ba, you mentioned about preventive care, di ba? So, what you do in health and wellness is part of the preventive care. So, how do people see yung preventive care in this right now in the 21st century?
There's different kinds of people. I've encountered a lot of them already. There are, like, thankfully now, because of the pandemic, we see already how important health is. We appreciate what truly is important. Like, before we were focused on so much, a lot of things, um, everything like on social media that we see. We really lost focus of what is important. But I think what's good about the pandemic is that we saw how important health is, because that's like number one. If you're unhealthy, you're unable to do everything else, anything else. So a lot of people have come to realize how important health is. So it's nice to see that patients during the pandemic, like, they started exercising because they had more time. They started to lose weight because they had more time to exercise and to take care of themselves. That's some people. But there are also some people naman now, because it's the pandemic, they just they their excuse is they don't the gyms are closed, and they don't have time because they're so busy. It's like work from home, but you get emails all the time, right? You don't have like a work life balance anymore. So their excuse is that they don't have time to exercise. So that's another part of the population. So hate, hindi naman, some people value, they learn to see how important health is. Some naman um, tend to make the pandemic as an excuse. So yeah, there's two kinds of people, I guess.
Yeah, there's two kind of people, ano, Doc, pero um, yeah, no. So it's good that you are able to allow us to see that right now that people became aware of health truly matters, no? So and the pandemic has brought that situation as well, no? So medyo naging concern, pero yun nga sabi mo din meron ding um different side of this one. So less people, there are also a population ng mga tao that would not, no, so would not choose to go to the hospital. So
Yes.
how about doc, no? So is there such a thing, no? So can you talk about health and wellness at home?
Well, health and wellness really starts with yourself. No, it's really something you decide for yourself, that I want to be healthy. It cannot come from another person. It has to come from you. So self care. Self care is very important. First, we have to be educated, to be aware. Tinatawag na health literacy. We should know what is important for screening, what for our certain age. There are certain tests that are recommended. This is also upon discussion with your own doctor. So being knowledgeable, not just like some people, there's a lot of fake news now. So it's important to really see for yourself what is evidence based. Next would be, like, yeah, once you know, you have to apply it. Like at home, you can actually do, like, for physical activity, for example, is very important. One of the pillars of healthcare is physical activity. So it doesn't have to be like a formal exercise. If that's what people say, they don't have time to go to the gym. But any movement is better than none at all, kahit walking. um, the recommendations for exercise is 100, at least 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercise. So kahit anong movement yan. Moderate intensity means when you can talk but not sing. So konting hingal, kahit house chores or gardening, that's a good exercise already. Walking along the village, or you can if you can jump rope, kung kaya mo yung vigorous activity, it's only 75 minutes. But yun nga, some exercise is better than none at all. And of course, more is better. But yun yung parang na they studied that to get the maximum benefit of physical activity. So not just that, there's also healthy eating. You have to be aware kasi with the convenience of ordering food online ngayon, 'di ba? With Food Panda and Grab, it's so easy. You can just get carried away, especially you're stressed and then you want to eat. So we have to be aware also of the food we eat. So also, mental health is important. Like what you do to manage your stress, having a community, having your family, having a support system. So it's important also. So other than that, the usual, like a good hygiene, um, use of the products and services that are available to us, like the diagnostics. So yun, yung mga pillars of healthcare. So really, self-care is what we can do at home. Start with yourself.
Wow. So that's a good thing, Doktora. No, you mentioned about self-care and yung mga nanonood sa atin, so they started typing here, no? So yung iba daw magsa-start na silang mag-jogging at yung iba maglalakad, 'di ba? So
Mm.
it's good, so you can continue to type in the chat box what will be the self-care activities that you can start, no? So health and wellness at your home. And you mentioned, Doc, no? So 150 minutes also. And these are the foundation, no? So the exercise, no? And food, and yung to have our self-check din, no? For diagnostic testing. So because sometimes, no, feeling mo okay ka eh, di ba? Pero when you do the blood testing, mataas pala yung cholesterol
Yes.
mo. So even if you're not that big, di ba? So sometimes mataas pala yung cholesterol mo, di ba? Or mataas yung blood sugar mo. So there's a lot of things. So yun. So thank you, Doc, for truly sharing that, no? So to all our viewers tonight. So, what is it? Okay, sabi ni Doktora kanina, we start with self-care, di ba? So, what
Mhm.
self-care activity can you start incorporating into your life right now? Because that is part of health and wellness then. So, they don't need to really go to the hospital, no, to the laboratory na meron ka ng nararamdaman, di ba?
Yes,
So, but in
exactly.
fact, you can start it at home already. So,
Mhm.
meron pala tayong pwedeng gawin. So, that is something that within us. No? So, we have
Mhm.
a participation sa health natin. Tama, Doc?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It starts with yourself.
Yes. So, it starts with ourselves. Doc, another question is, what's your view on alternative medicine?
Alternative medicine. What exactly do you mean? Sorry. Alternative medicine, that it's very broad. Which part of alternative medicine you mean?
Your view lang, Doc, yung kahit yung any idea on the alternative medicine, yung part ng you don't um, which is quite different. So yung any idea mo, Doc, about it. So an overview of that.
Okay, so it's a medyo controversial topic yung alternative medicine. There's kasi it's a lot of things with the fake news now,
Mhm.
and some people claiming these treatments na wala namang evidence talaga. So for me, of course, we practice talaga evidence-based medicine. So we have to have evidence as to why like a certain intervention is recommended. Um, also for the safety of our patients. But of course, our knowledge is not full yet. We don't really understand everything. There's always something new to discover, diba? So we cannot also discount the other alternative forms of that's not in the books. So for me, there are things that are safe to do naman, as long as there's no untoward effects. Like for example, cancer. Cancer, um, there are a lot of innovations with cancer treatment. So, of course, chemotherapy that can be toxic to the body. But we this is an ongoing study. So there are a lot of innovations already. Um, there are some people that offer alternative medicine for cancer that's not proven. So for me, um, it's about weighing the risk and the benefit of that alternative treatment. So if it's something that we already have something available that's proven to work, of course, everything has a risk. So we have to have a risk benefit ratio. And then if something is already proven, it's there already, but you still would want, especially when it's all hearsay. It's sad ngayon with the fake news, social media. People really need to learn how to filter what they see. Not everything on social media is reliable. We have to check the source, check the evidence, who is saying it. So it's really important to have that discernment, whether this alternative treatment is harmful or not. Like, of course, a lot of alternative treatments naman are not harmful. So there's nothing wrong with trying those things. A lot of it can be also psychological, and a lot of things nga we don't understand yet. So there's nothing wrong as long as it doesn't cause you harm or cause you to not do the recommended treatment and do that instead. So that's my view of
Yeah, so
alternative.
that's a very good view, Doc, no? So, yeah, I asked that, no, so to shed some light, no? So, ano din yung point of view ng mga healthcare professional on what's going on, di ba? On, about the alternative medicine. And I have to write it down, no? So, gusto ko yung sinabi mo, Doc, no? So, that we have to assess, no? So, yes, they are there, but we have to assess on the risk and benefit, no? So, if there's an available naman, a proven
Mm-hmm.
methodology or anything na, di ba? So, again, it will be the individual, it will be the patient's prerogative, no? But don't forget to assess on the risk and benefit. Ayan, sabi po ng mga viewers po natin, ano, so acupuncture, doktora, no, is an altern we is considered as an alternative medicine, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of people who is doing this, no, at sabi nga naman nila, "Ay, effective." I've tried this once, no, so sabi po ng mga viewers natin, no? So it is effective. Yan. So madami po. And Doc, thank you din for your sharing kanina. So may mga nagsasabing mag-healthy switch na daw po sila. So you've inspired them tonight to healthy switch because yun, no? So minsan yun yung nakakalimutan natin, eh, no? So yung self-care part, no? So we can do the foundation, which is exercise, eating, you know, healthy switch. So Indica Coffee Republic, the home of certified CACC life coach. So if you are interested, you can message Coach Rizal, no, at 0917 5861661 for your healthy switch. Yan. So, Doc, I have next question for you. No? So, in your view, how can you make the people see the value of having medical checkup or make it as part of their priority as well?
Um, we all know that prevention is always better than cure. So we don't want to wait until we get sick before we start our screenings, because all of the lifestyle diseases now, not all, most lifestyle diseases, kasi lifestyle nga, is preventable, like hypertension, for example. Hypertension is genetic. There's a factor that is genetic, but it's also a lot of things like our diet, the weight, the lack of physical activity. So, and also getting your blood pressure checked at the doctor's clinic, di ba? A lot of patients would see na parang wala naman akong naramdaman, doc, pero mataas na yung blood pressure. Hindi natin hintayin na may maramdaman sila, 'di ba? So that's what I always say, wag niyo hintayin kasi pag may naramdaman na kayo, that would be a heart attack or a stroke. So it's important to go to your doctor, have your blood pressure checked, have your cholesterol levels checked, because you don't want to wait for you to have symptoms before you, that yung tawag na primary prevention. So before you get sick, you wanna prevent it na. So that's why it's important to get your blood test your blood sugar for like diabetes. So a lot of things are multifactorial. Just because you don't have it in your family, or you do have it, lalo na if you have it in your family, it's important to get yung screening, kasi it's not 100% na because both parents may diabetes, ikaw din. Parang some people, alam ko na, I'm gonna get sick, ganyan, ganyan. So, it's actually something, if you really want, a big part of it is lifestyle and prevention. So, that includes getting your screening tests annually, going to your doctor, having yourself checked. So, that's why it's important to, before you get sick. So, not just, the doctors aren't there pag may sakit ka na. So before you get sick, it's actually better to go to the doctor. So you can at least schedule it at your own convenient time, and hindi ka na maaabala, because if you do get sick, you won't be able to do the things that you normally do, like work or be with your family. So they don't see how it, pag nangyari na kasi yon, it will be too late na. So, it's better before it becomes too late.
Oh, 'di ba? So prevention, no? So one thing that we can encourage the people to see their checkup is, yeah, prevention is better. Is if don't wait until it's too late, and we can start with the basic test. So lalo if you know that you have a history, no?
Yes.
So yan, medyo, is there an age, doc, na kailangan mag-start na akong, if I have a family history of diabetes or heart cardiovascular diseases, so is there a certain age that I should start going for a medical checkup?
The earlier the better, 'di ba? Kasi we see a lot of patients right now who are young, and then they are already obese, and they have dyslipidemia, they are hypertensive. Patients now are getting younger and younger. So, the younger you start your health and wellness journey, the better it is. It starts by just having self-care nga, being aware of what physical activity you can do, the food you should eat. So even if you are still in your 20s, you can already start getting your the routine checkups done already, because it's also genetic part of it. So um, it's good to start young.
Oh, yeah. The earlier, the better. So you've heard it
Mm-hmm.
from Doctora. So the earlier, the better. If you have a family history, no, so it's good to get the blood test done. So even at least once a year, no. So yung BP naman, madali na rin, no, Doc? In the drugstore, you can already buy
Office.
for monitoring. Office, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. So we will be having a break, Doc, no? Pero I'll leave you a hanging question, no? So you, Doc, can you tell us more about the other things that we do, which is mission and disasters response? So we'll take a short break. So before you answer that, before you tell us more about the other things that you do, the mission and disasters response. So let's all relax first. Let's all hydrate, and we will hear uh, Dr. Hannah to tell us more about what she do in mission and disaster response.
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag and drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag and drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.
And we're back. Welcome back to When Sickness Matters. So, here at Think Talk Broadcast, we are broadcasting beyond borders to get closer to our kindred and serve better our tribe. So, this premiere episode is brought to you by Decaf Coffee Republic, the coaching hub of Life Coach Philippines, and Rise Up Creatives Worldwide, your partner in social commerce. So, thank you for joining me live today, and I invite you to watch the other shows as well hosted here at Think Talk Broadcast. So please like and follow us on our social media account, Think Talk Broadcast, and give us your review for sponsorship as well. If you want to have a sponsor to sponsor our shows, please connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661. And of course, join me every Sunday at When Sickness Matters. So every Sunday at 8 p.m. And this show is all about prevention. Okay, prevention is better than cure. And while many people despise visiting the doctor's clinic for medical checkup, know that there is something that you can do. So sabi nga ni Doktora tonight, no, there is something that we can start doing. Okay, so when sickness matters, every Sunday at 8 p.m. And now we will call on again si Doktora Han, no? So Doktora Han to answer yung ating hanging question kanina. So as I mentioned earlier when I introduced her, Doktora Han is also into mission and disasters response. No, Doctora, can you tell us more about what you do in that area of your life?
Thank you, Master Coach Hasmin. It's really an honor na I get to do also things that like help other people who need our help. Missions and disaster response, the Lord just put that in my heart a long time ago. Because being a doctor, I am in a place that I can help people. I worked actually in a government facility for 4 years before I went to residency in a rural part of the Philippines in Lianga, Surigao del Sur. So there, I saw that a lot of people do not get the help that they need. The reality of being in a third world country, 'di ba? There are people who don't get access to healthcare. So not that they don't want it, they just don't have the access to that. So a lot of them really life and death situations na. So I'm glad that because I am a doctor, I am not in a place that can help these people. So whenever there is an opportunity that comes my way, if I do have the time, it's just something that the Lord has put sa buhay ko, binigay niya lang na these opportunities. It's not really something that um, I do on a regular basis. It's just sometimes when I do have the time, like for example, when some disasters happen, like we've had several typhoons already that have come to the Philippines, like for example yung Yolanda and Tacloban. My husband being a pastor, he also is somehow we are connected in that way. It's something that brought us together. Like for our the Yolanda happened before our wedding. It was December 2013. We were supposed to get married actually December 2013, but we had to move it to March. So when that happened, I know Yolanda was November pala, sorry. But in the later part of 2013. So we were able to go. Me and my husband, we were able to be connected with a lot of people there. So um, that's one of the, well, it's not the first one, but it's one of the first ones for me and my husband together. And we're able to go as husband and wife, not naman at a big scale na with all the like really we don't have unlimited resources, but in whatever capacity that God has given us, we're happy to help naman in whatever way that we can. So, if there's people na who want to partner with us and want to help other communities that's ano by disaster, so we get to do that. So for our honeymoon, actually we did disaster response training. So we were able to do that with Mission to the World because they went to Tacloban to help with Yolanda, and from there they were able to train us in, it was in uh where was this, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we were able to do that after we got married. We did a few weeks of disaster response training. So we are able to help naman whenever there is a need.
Yun, Doktora, no? So, ang ganda ng kwento ni Doktora, to this is to inspire all the people. So, me too, I was inspired with that, no? So even if you are professional, you're a doctor already, no? If God plays something into your heart, diba? And yeah, I've talked about Esther in the Global Women Summit. There's
Mm.
always something that women can do. So there's something in our hands that we can do to make a difference, right? So to help people, no? So it is not an accident that we are in this position. This is our profession, diba? To help more people. In fact, ako doktora, pangarap ko ding maging doktor, when that's why I took medical technologist, and that's why I'm in the healthcare industry for the longest time, no, kasi nandun pa din yung desire na yan to serve in the healthcare industry. And this is a dream come true, having when sickness matters and interviewing doctors, diba? So it's also helping a lot of people right now to have a better understanding of why sickness matter, because sometimes sickness doesn't matter when you feel, 'di ba? Now you're okay, 'di ba? Pero when it becomes a reality, then that's where you will realize na nagma-matter pala yung sickness, 'di ba? And you've been doing this already for the past years as well, no, Doc, yung mission. And one thing that really have touched my heart, no, sabi mo there's a lot of people out there that don't have an access, no? So wala silang access sa health, no? So sa pag-check up, 'di ba? And that is the thing that you do ni Pastor Zuriel, no? So can we just oh, 'di ba? So and also God provides, no? So konti lang yung resources, but God is able to multiply isang maganda pa to all the singles out there, 'di ba? So, yung mission ni Doc, 'di ba? So that's where they met, no? So sabi mo kanina Doc, 'di ba? Doon kayo nag-met ni Pastor, 'di ba? Doon sa mission field, and you were able also to spend more time together and your honeymoon as well outside, 'di ba? But still in the mission in serving, 'di ba? The people in whatever way we can. Doc, meron pa po akong mga tanong sa inyo, 'di ba? What are the top three sickness, no? So being in the health and wellness center, ano yung nakikita mo na top three sickness and what can be done as a prevention on that top three sickness?
Well, there's a recent data from the, like, it was posted on CNN, the top three causes of death for the last year is number one, I believe, would be cardiovascular diseases, so heart disease, related, everything related to that, and then cerebrovascular diseases, yung sa mga stroke. Number three with COVID-19, but that was, of course, it's different na ngayon. So, for cardiovascular diseases, that's a very broad term, but a lot of it is hypertension, dyslipidemia. So, these are lifestyle diseases talaga. So, like I said before, these are actually preventable as long as you eat the right food, exercise, maintain the ideal weight. So, I also sleep and stress management. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to that. It's not just something you do for a few months. It's really years of that constant. Um, if you make the wrong choices lifestyle wise, like you're not um, you don't take note of what you eat or take note of your physical activity, your stress levels, it develops over the years, and then you develop these heart diseases, like related mostly to hypertension, high blood pressure. So a lot of sequelae can come from that. So it's really very important yung lifestyle. So yun,
Yes.
mostly is that related to these lifestyle diseases, the hypertension and diabetes mainly.
Hypertension, 'di ba? Hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. So these are the top three, no? So, and one thing that as well that would really stay in my mind is yung sinabi mo, wrong choices, no? So, when we make the wrong choices in what we eat, in what we do, ano, so sa physical activity namin, so that contributes to the top three, no? Top three major illness that major sickness that Filipino have. Is this only in the Philippines, Doc, or is it also the same
Worldwide,
global?
actually, global, yes. That's globally, it's really heart disease, cardiovascular diseases na top killer.
Mm, yeah. Pero recently naging COVID, Doc.
Ah, yes, pang third naman siya.
Pang
but
third
uh,
naman siya.
but that's bound to change naman. That was just
Mm,
last year.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's why it's really important to really take care of ourselves. Sabi nga ni Doktora kanina, self-care, because often and yun ang unang-unang kailangan natin, 'di ba? We need to boost our immune system. And the only way for us to boost our immune system is if we do the self-care. Yan, 'di ba, Doc? Right now, 'di ba, there's this challenge that people they don't want to go for a checkup right now, 'di po ba? So, what do you think, Doc? How can we bridge that gap, no? So kung hindi man masyado pang ma-close, kahit pa paano ma-bridge yung gap nung why people don't go for a checkup.
Yes, there's a lot of fear pa din until now with because of the pandemic. But uh, what an example of what's really good is what you're doing, like this mga educational mga broadcasts that helps educate people, give them information of why it is important to come to for your annual physicals. So it's really like being more active in spreading that information, spreading useful information, not just yeah, fake news. So I'm very happy that you're doing this, and hopefully more people um, will be more will learn about your broadcast and be listeners, so they will learn more things when it comes to their health and wellness, and also like everything else na um, that can help you and help other people as well. So I'm very happy na you invited me here, because I think it's also very important what you're doing.
Yes, Doc, ano? So, yeah, so you mentioned about education, diba? So the
Mhm.
education is a good way to bridge that gap, no, ng why people are scared to go for a
Mhm.
checkup. And this is actually the heart of when sickness matter, no? So this is our way of contributing to the society, kung paano ma-bridge yung gap na to. And you've confirmed that tonight, Doc. And we thank you for joining us, and you've shed a lot of light, no? So sa medyo madilim na part ng isip ng maraming tao ngayon, because oftentimes when we talk about sickness, takot sila diyan, 'di ba? That's something that people doesn't want to talk about, 'di ba? So, and lalo na yung pagpapa-check up, they're always scared for checkup because they fear of the unknown, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
ano kayang resulta ng blood test ko, 'di ba? So laging nandiyan yung fear na 'yan, ano? Fear na 'yan ng of the unknown, 'di ba? So yes, and we will continue to do this in when sickness matters, and that we will continue to close that gap, no? Yung why people are afraid to go for a checkup. Well, in fact, you mentioned that prevention is always better than cure, and that there is something that we can start doing on our own through the self-care. Doc, one more question. So last question ko to sa iyo. As a medical practitioner, no, so as a doctor, 'di ba? So what sickness are you scared of para sa iyo or your family, no? So ano yung sakit na you are scared of?
Personally, what I
Yeah,
ano
personally.
yung okay, well, honestly, it's cancer. Because cancer, 'di ba, it's a very long, hard process. It's when you hear that you have cancer or you're someone you love has cancer, it's something then that's very it's something that you cannot take lightly at all. So yun yung sa akin, aside from of course the lifestyle diseases that are preventable. Actually, cancer also is part of your screening. Yung mga there are screening tests that are recommended for cancer prevention as well. So buti you asked that question kasi hindi ko pala na mention, aside from yung lifestyle cancer can also be lifestyle related. There's also a lot of factors that are unknown, but it's important to get the recommended screening tests, like for women 40 and above, your mammograms, um, or in the pap smear for women if you're sexually active, or if you're 25 up to 65. For smokers, there's the recommended is the low dose chest CT scan, and for colon cancer, it's a colonoscopy, which used to be at age 50, now it's recommended at age 45 already. So these are some of the cancers that have evidence talaga that for screening. So it's important that when these cancers are caught early, there's a very good chance that it won't progress, because there are a lot of advances now sa cancer, but of course when you catch it early the better. So these are some of the diagnostics that really have evidence for the use of the screening tests.
Wow, thank you, Doc. Ano? So, and there's a lot of people as well who's afraid of cancer. But you mentioned tonight na Yeah, that thing can be scary, pero pwede, the earlier that we catch it, there's a big chance that that can be cured, no? So pwedeng with the test that you mentioned, that is being done in the health and wellness
Mm-hmm.
center, no? So wow, no? So yan, yun yung value eh, di ba? So that's truly the value of having your self-check, and whatever it is that you are thinking right now, sabi nga ni Doktora, even kung natatakot kayo sa lifestyle diseases, di ba? You can find it out, di ba? Prevention is better than cure, sabi ni Doc kanina. The earlier that you get tested, especially if you got family history, the better. So that you will be able to know, how to will you be how you will be able to prevent it, no? And of course, kung cancer naman yung something that you are afraid of, there are tests already that can be done for screening. Sabi mo kanina, Doc, di ba, cancer screening test, and the earlier the better to be detected. So merong pwedeng mga gawing intervention. Okay, so with that, Doc, no, so I'll give you the floor, so please invite them, so into what services that you offer at the Health and Wellness Center.
Okay, for those who are in the area in around St. Luke's Global City, you may want to check out the Health and Wellness Center. We offer several packages. That are comprehensive already for your annual physicals. So right now we have this promo. It's now women's. Well, it's April already, but this was for Women's Health Month. So this is more for women, the Vital Check package. So um, you can check the Facebook page of St. Luke's na lang for the details. So we also have our wellness packages. You can contact us even if you just contact the trunk line of St. Luke's. They can connect you to the wellness center if you want more information about what packages we have, so you can check it out na lang.
Yes, so regular checkup is important. So of course tonight, Doctora, so it's a first time to meet, and I really appreciate what you have shared tonight. So one thing that I would always remember. So this is the premiere episode, and you've blessed a lot of people with what you do professionally, and you also do the mission, di ba? Na pwedeng pagsabayin yan. So if there's something that God has planted into your heart, you can start serving people, and you can start serving God as well. So thank you, Doc. So, and to all
Thank you so
our
much, Coach
viewers,
Hasmin,
sige, Doc.
for having me.
Yeah, thank
I'm so happy to be
yeah,
here.
yeah, we're so happy to meet you, Doctora. Okay. So to all our viewers, yeah, to all our viewers right now, so I believe that you've heard, okay, our conversation tonight, and we ask that please share if you know someone who might be in need of what we have discussed tonight. So please feel free to share this to your timeline, to all the people. You can type in the chat box, no, para they can watch it also immediately. And there are so many things that hold us back from having our health check. Na-mention na natin yan kanina. But tonight's program is all about creating awareness of seeking healthcare services and getting to know the heart and mission of our healthcare professional, and which we have seen kay Dr. Hana tonight. And maraming advantage. There are a lot of advantage if we have our self-check. So this is good for prevention. Okay. So when we know that when we know our health status, we can avoid what is causing the illness, and we can start taking action. No, sabi nga ni Doktora kanina, we can start with our diet, we can start with exercise, and we can start with having a regular checkup. And it is also for medical intervention, di ba? So if you there is findings, no, sa in your blood test or in certain tests, it's about time to take meds, take some treatment, take some procedure if truly needed. But we will never know that if we don't have our health check. So our health professionals, our partner, and this show is all about bridging the gap between the healthcare and healing, and breaking the bias of seeking medical services. So life is beautiful and it is worth living. Health is wealth. and wealth is the ability to fully experience life. We cannot serve God, we cannot serve people, and we cannot make our loved ones happy and the people around us when our health starts deteriorating. So let's make our health a priority. So may healing be with you tonight. So thank you for supporting the premiere broadcast of When Sickness Matters. So please do leave a comment, share the link of this video so that we can reach more and more people. So see you in the next episode of When Sickness Matters on April 17 at 8 p.m. live here at Ting Talk Broadcast. Thank you, Doctora.
Thank you so much.